A brief discussion on the 40 Smith & Wesson. The 40 Smith & Wesson, also known as 40 S&W, is a popular choice among law enforcement agencies and civilian gun owners. It was introduced as a defensive cartridge in 1990 by American firearms manufacturers Smith & Wesson and Winchester as a compromise to the 9mm and 45 ACP cartridges, combining the best qualities of both rounds. It was designed to duplicate performance of the FBI's reduced velocity 10mm auto cartridge, which could be adapted into a medium frame 9mm size semi-automatic handgun. The 40 Smith & Wesson cartridge uses a bullet with a diameter of .400 inches. This is slightly larger than a 9mm bullet at .355 inches, but smaller than a 45 ACP bullet at .451 inches. This cartridge was designed for a good balance of stopping power and manageable recoil. It often uses a 180 grain bullet that has a muzzle velocity of around 1,000 feet per second. This load generates approximately 388 foot-pounds of energy. Popular self-defense rounds of this variety include the Hornady Critical Defense, Speer Gold Dot, and the Remington Golden Saber. Most shooters practice with cheaper ball ammo or full metal jacket ammunition that mimic their competition or self-defense ballistics to help save on cost per shot. Some criteria the 40 Smith & Wesson was required to meet included being highly accurate, as well as the ability to work in semi-automatic handguns, allowing for faster reloads and putting more rounds on target compared to the widely carried .38 Special of the time. Smith & Wesson brought to market their Model 4006 with the release of their cartridge in 1990. The 4006 features a stainless steel frame and slide, is a double single action, had a 4-inch barrel, slide-mounted decocker and safety, and has an 11-round double-stack magazine. This allowed for twice the capacity of a .38 Special revolver when carrying with one in the chamber and a fully loaded magazine. Since then, other firearm manufacturers have developed handguns chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson, including Glock, Sig Sauer, H&K, Beretta, and many others. One advantage of the 40 Smith & Wesson in competitive shooting is its knockdown power. Some competitions require shooting targets made of steel plates that must be knocked down to score points. The energy of the heavier 40 Smith & Wesson projectiles can help ensure the plates are knocked down more reliably, regardless of hitting the A-zone. Aside from its increased capacity compared to the 45 ACP and higher energy when looking at smaller caliber cartridges, there are several supposed disadvantages to the 40 Smith & Wesson. The 40 Smith & Wesson has harsher recoil than other self-defense cartridges, which can make it more difficult for some shooters to control and thus lead to slower follow-up shots. The 40 Smith & Wesson may have a higher capacity than 45 ACP, but still much smaller round count than many popular 9mm handguns, which are capable of carrying upwards of 20 rounds. There is much more to be said, but that's going to wrap it up for this brief discussion on the 40 Smith & Wesson cartridge. Let me know your thoughts and what topics or cartridges you want covered in a future video down below. Thanks and have a great day.